Woodman. Again with the lo-fi graphics. I know that's a tree up there, but it looks like unfinished graphics to me. Remember, most of us were born after the Atari era ended, or during the tail end of it. Frankly, my favorite era in terms of graphics was the late NES era and the early PS1 era. In terms of pixel art, that is. Well, the Rambots are much easier to defeat as well. Look how slow their carrots are. That's what I mean, Excalibur. Some of us were born very late, even following the PS1 era, or after Mega Man Classic had a hiatus. Well, this is a new gimmick. The arrow's being fired to the left. That launcher... okay, it's a hole in the wall. Why hello there, hot dog. Goodbye. Everyone wants something new added to Mega Man Maker Mon Dream, but it'll either never be added, or it'll be added in the far future. Let's test out our weapons, the Metal Blade. Now we only get 2 Metal Blades per shot, instead of the 4 or 8 in the original Mega Man 2. Now it's a lot more balanced. This is how it should have been in the original one. Fire Emblem tree houses? How excited are you for tree houses, Excalibur? And are you interested in picking one house over the other? Blue lines, That's Dimitri's house, right? Yeah, depending on your choice of house, you will have to kill off some students from other houses. That's the nature of war, I guess. Trials of Mana, right? You know, in the future, I am interested in playing the Turbo Hack for Secret of Mana. That changes up a lot of things, I've heard, making it at least 50 to 100% faster. And already the Trials of Mana remake is looking more interesting, or better than the Secret of Mana remake. Frankly, I feel the Secret of Mana remake was overhated, or overly criticized. It was okay to decent, especially compared to all the other ports and quote-unquote remakes Square Enix did in the near past. See what happened to Chrono Trigger? Why is there a hole in the left? Buster, is there a secret down there? I'm going to assume there isn't, but it just looks so suspicious. If you want a total screw up, look at the Chrono Trigger port. Alright, Woodman. Is it just me, or does this arena feel more wide open? feels like he's more wide open for a longer period of time. Well, this boss was easier than the original. It just felt like there was more delay in between his attacks. And the timing between when he throws down those leaves and fires forward his leaf shield feels different as well. And by the way, you can skip these by holding down the menu button. I'm talking about the Chrono Trigger PC remake. That was a porting disaster initially. It was a terrible decision to port over the mobile version. Crashman. And I agree, Gokulus, it was too fateful. Thankfully, Seiken Densetsu 3, aka the Trials of Mana remake, is learning from their mistakes. That's why I say that the Secret of Mana remake was overhated. Compared with the Final Fantasy V, 6, and Chrono Trigger ports, that was much more fateful. At least it felt like there was effort put into it, where the other ones felt like cheap ports that didn't understand what platform they were for. Yep, that's it, Excalibur. Okay, that's different. This feels like a combination of clock platforms and the crash list. In this case, you have to jump at certain times, otherwise you'll get hit by the arrow. Also, here's a leaf shield. It has some changes. For one, once activated and move around, it doesn't actually get thrown. In the original, once you activate the leaf shield and start moving around in one direction, it'll automatically throw the leaf shield in that direction. But now I'll always have it on unless I press the fire button, where then it'll fire it in the direction I'm facing. Already a massive improvement over this weapon, even the Mega Man Maker incarnation. I mean, look, it's blocking all the shots. It's basically as strong as the Jewel Satellite now. Metal Daddy? I didn't expect to see you here. Well, that's awfully coincidental. This leaf shield is as broken as the Jewel Satellite, honestly. It shouldn't be able to destroy this many enemies and absorb as many projectiles. I guess the reason why it feels this broken is because you can't apply as many limitations it could have in the NES to an Atari format. Sadly, it does plink off of shielded enemies, though. Easy place for farming. Just stand here, fully restore everything. Well, this is gonna be handy during the Wally Fortress. But I want to get an E-Tank now. Well, I have multiple tries now. Hang on a minute. Okay, this is another improvement to item 2. It doesn't actually start rushing forwards until you jump on top of it. Seriously, item 2 is one of the best utilities in the series now, thanks to these various changes. In some ways it's a bit too broken. I wouldn't give it the capability to just stay there until you jump on top of it. This is not the rush jet after all. No bolts in this game, this is Mega Man 2 after all. We only had bolts in the mainline classic series in Mega Man 7. And you can get extra lives here. Yep, it was one of those Game Boy titles. The reason why I'm answering a question like that is because some other viewers did ask this question to other demakes of fan games. Yep, pretty much. Also one of the only enemies who actually absorbs the leaf shield. Even though the weapons feel more balanced, the utilities feel much stronger than they were originally. Items 1 and 3 also probably got massive buffs, so I'm interested in seeing their changes. Well, this is going rather poorly. Sorry about that. Apparently Crashman is even weaker to the air shooter here. Two more arms left, Bubbleman or Flashman. This is also why when I record Let's Play episodes, they only tend to be about 30 minutes long, or why they have jump cuts. My voice starts to die out after about 45 minutes to an hour. Look at that croaker. It has an even more evil grin now. Let's try out the crash bombs. You can use it the same way as you did originally, and it will self-detonate. You can also detonate it in mid-air like the drill bomb, and it will also detonate on contact with an enemy. So essentially the crash bombs have become the drill bombs in this game. These shield enemies look a lot smaller than they originally were. The drill bomb, but it now sticks to walls like the crash bomb, so pretty much the best of both worlds. Again, we probably don't need that many upgrades to the crash bomb. It being able to detonate once it hits enemies is good enough for me. Having remote detonation everywhere feels a bit too powerful, but this is taking consideration comparing to other weapons in the series. The shrinks look more like skeleton shrimps now. It is. That's why this game is trying to mimic the Atari, but is being more generous in terms of limitations. For one, we wouldn't be able to use as many sound channels as we are now, mixing together the sound effects and music. Now, there was a port for Mega Man 1 made for the Atari that actually runs on the Atari. True, there'll be more lines everywhere. You sort of see that with the tile set, but it's too smooth already. So I think this is a more ideal version of an Atari game. Time to face off against Bubble Man. These patterns are much easier to dodge compared to his original. And a lot more consistent as well. It's always 1 bubble, 2 bubble, then 3 bubbles. No, I haven't played Tracia 776 yet. I won't be playing Tree Houses, I'll maybe be watching Let's Plays of it. There is a bubble lead, which I'll probably not use that much as it wasn't that useful originally. Unless it got a massive damage buff. Yes, the lanternfish, we didn't have big fish yet. And the lanternfish do look very creepy. Same with the shrinks, they look undead. If there's one suggestion with this stage's tile set, is to reduce the flashing, or slow it down by at least 50%. It's flashing too much now. Let's try it out right now then. Yep, that's a buff. Originally it'd take about 4 to 5 hits. The crazy cannons look quite cute actually. They look smaller than Mega Man. They look more like mini cannons to me. Yeah, tiny knives. Yeah, crazy cannons or shotmen. Shotmen are their Japanese names, crazy cannons are their English names. Sniper Joes and Ride Armors. Yeah, baby cannons are a better name for them. At least these enemies look appropriately large. For many enemies of this game, at least half of them, they feel too small relative to Mega Man. In some ways, it feels like I'm facing off against Dr. Wily's toys. Another handy feature of this game is that, unlike Mega Man 2, you can actually revisit stages if you so desire. That way you can farm up on E-tanks and extra lives. No sound effect for the teleporters? Considering all the care and attention everything else has been given this game, It seems like a glaring omission. Nope. Once you complete a stage in Mega Man 2, you can't revisit it. These teleporters kinda remind me of another teleporter in another fan game, which I also let's played on this channel, which I may come back to in the future. As a hint to what game that was, that stage had owls in it, and spiky crushers that were sideways. Okay, instead of firing a string of bullets, he fires instead a giant laser. That probably does a lot more damage than the string of bullets would. And he gives a much better telegraph before he does it. Maybe not much better, but much slower. Not Rock Force Burner Boy, another fan game. Rock Force's stage that had the moving teleporters that didn't have owl enemies in it. By defeating Flashman, we get a time stopper, which has been upgraded so now you can turn it on and turn it off. No, it's not Pulseman's stage, an entirely different fan game. Well, my apologies viewers, but it's getting late on my side, so I'll have to end off the stream now. On next Sunday's stream, I will be finishing off the rest of Mega Man 2 Atari Demake, then move on to playing Hard Hat 1 on stream. Well then, I thank you all for watching, and I wish you all a nice day. Toodles!